And now it's time for Wadland on the Web, your regular podcast from Kevin Wadland.
Well, listeners, I'm going off to Wales. Yes, it's a Celtic land, the same as all our Celtic nations. You are a brother Wales and brother Colonel in Cornwall. I've got the Druid of Wales with me on the phone. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning, and my name is Merlin Aptavir.
You actually are the Druid?
Yes. Usually it's a 3-year period, but of course the Eisteddfod was cancelled due to COVID last year, and it's been cancelled again this year. So I have another 2 Eisteddfod as Druid, but this year we've decided it's too long without a proper Eisteddfod and some competitions. So we've prepared an online Eisteddfod, and there'll be some online and on television ceremonies as well, crowning, chairing and presenting the Pros Medal.
Is this a national Eisteddfod?
This is the national Eisteddfod, yes. It's being held first week of August every year, and usually we're talking about over 120 acres between everything, and crowds over 8 days. We have crowds of around about 180,000. So it's a massive occasion, and we miss it very much. It goes round from one town or city to another, sometimes in a rural area, sometimes in an urban area. But everybody who has the Eisteddfod in his diary enjoys the whole week, the meetings, the culture that's there, of course, and everything is discussed. For that week, the National Eisteddfod is the capital of Wales.
Is it in Llandudno?
It has been in Llandudno, yes. I was born not very far from that, and I remember the 1963 Eisteddfod at Llandudno.
I believe it's also been in Cardiff as well, hasn't it?
It has been in Cardiff many times, 6 or 7 times. Last year it was supposed to go to Tregaron, which is a small market town in the Cambrian Mountains, and it would have been the first time ever that Tregaron held a national Eisteddfod. So they're still waiting for it, and I'm sure the welcome will be very, very warm next year when we manage to at last have that national Eisteddfod at Tregaron.
A lot of bards actually in Wales actually, so you've got the services Wales or for poetry, music, culture, and keep the history alive, isn't it?
Yes, it does. But also there are competitions, obviously, in the Eisteddfod, and those are very keenly contested. But also we have the more leisurely entertainment on the field itself, where crowds can enjoy bands and young groups as well. So it's very important to that the Eisteddfod branches out to the younger generation, and it's great to see your children growing up by going from one Eisteddfod to the other. And it's great here in Wales. We have a young culture through the Welsh language as well.
And that's good, because the Welsh, actually, people say that the Welsh language, like the Cornish language, is dying out, but it's being revived, and people speaking the Cornish and speaking Welsh, actually, and also actually you can also now pick it up on media, actually, on TV, and
yes.
You also got your Welsh channel where it's showing the Eisteddfod, didn't it?
Yes, that's true, and it's very, very important that the Welsh language is being used and branches out to every media and to every field of entertainment being used, and that's what we see in the Eisteddfod. The whole week, over 1,000 different performances, over 1,000 in 8 days, and everything in Welsh, of course.
I believe the Welsh, actually, the robe, actually, is green and white, isn't it?
Green and white is the background of our national flag, but of course the main character on our flag is the red dragon.
You're a Welsh bard, actually, and also the Druid. Did you get it actually for poetry?
Oh yes, I've won the national chair twice, and then that was my line of working my way up to be an archdruid in a way.
I believe you miss, actually, with not meeting up, actually, you're missing, actually, the friendship and the companionship as well, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. Because there's a great get-together in the Eisteddfod, and there are competitions, off-the-cuff competitions for poetry, and we split into friendly teams and compete against each other. We have tasks and very few minutes to complete them. So, there's a comradeship and community spirit that we miss very much.
I believe we are saying like the Cornish Gorsaf actually is this year in Cornwall, actually in Bude. Will the Welsh Bard be ever travelling over if it's old?
Well, it's my turn to come to Cornwall. I missed out last year because of the restrictions, but I hope to come this year. So early September, I've already booked a holiday in Cornwall. So I hope that the Gorsaf of Cernyw will be held in early September. And yes, I'll be there.
I mean, what would you like to say to people down in from Wales, actually? Maybe a lot of people who's Welsh, actually. I speak to one or two people who are Welsh who've moved. They live in the Cornish town of Lansing at the moment, and they still live there, been there for years. And they come from around the valley and around the valley and Pontypool. And there is visitors around. What would you like to say to people if they are unfortunately end up in hospital?
Take care now, because understandably we embrace this new freedom, but as we know here in Wales, we've got a huge tourist industry here in Wales as well, and we have great mountains, we have beautiful countryside, we have a great coastal path.
You've also got the slate quarries, haven't you?
All these things can create accidents, and we see these all the time in Wales as well. Take care on holiday.
Well, thank you very much for talking to me once again.
Okay.
Actually, and congratulations on your son getting married in Wales. Actually, was it all in Welsh?
In Welsh, yes.
That's good to know, because we got to keep our languages alive. Actually, in Wales, Scotland, Brittany, and also in Cornwall.
Yes.
We got to keep our language alive, our culture, our customs alive, because as our next generation, to keep them going as well, isn't it?
Exactly, and I look forward to come down to Cornwall, and I enjoy the place names. Being Welsh, I can understand them.
I hope I meet you someday. I hope to meet you there.
Okay then, right on. I'll see you.
No star.
You've been listening to Wadland on the Web, presented by Kevin Wadland and produced by the Lansing Podcast.
The Lansing Podcast.